Imagine climbing the height of Mount Everest, not once, not twice, but 34 times in a single year. Now, what if I told you that one man actually did it? 1 million feet of elevation gain in 2024. And he did it with nothing but sheer grit. But here's the real question. What's next? How do you top a feat that most people wouldn't even dare to dream of? Today on the Mean Grit podcast, we train with Zachary Frisch, the trail running powerhouse who turned impossible into his playground. Get ready for an insane deep dive into the mindset, the grind, and what's coming in 2025 for this mountain conquering machine. All right, I am meeting my guy Zachary Frisch today, and I'm so excited. I know he loves quesadillas, so I'm gonna make a little quesadilla. I don't know what he's got planned for me today. He told me to meet him at the track. Usually he's up in the mountains, so we're gonna see what happens. But hey, don't worry, buddy. I got you some quesadillas. I know you like them, so let's go. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, how are you, man?
You ready for the day?
Oh yeah, I'm nervous.
Dude, I pooped 4 times already this morning. Hey, I am super excited. I've got Zachary Frisch with me today, TrailswithZach on Instagram. Super excited to have you, and we're gonna do a little workout today, but I was a little shocked that you asked me to meet you at the track.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been on the track in years, but I have big goals this year. I'm kind of trying to switch to getting more speed in my legs.
Okay.
Last year was just slow only, lots of time just hiking in the mountains.
Yeah.
And I want to be out here on the track so I can get more speed in my legs so I can run faster in the mountains this summer.
I love it. So you and I met, it was, I think, like December 20th, 21st, and you were on your final push of your major goal last year, which was 1 million feet of elevation gain.
Yeah.
That's Everest 34 plus times.
Yeah.
That's insane. And so tell me about that experience. Like, what was it that said, hey, I want to do 1 million feet this year?
I mean, I had a background in high school track and cross country, and I had fun doing those things, but I definitely wanted to do endurance and do bigger things. And when I moved here and experienced the mountains, the million feet of vert goal really came from a place of just wanting to explore the mountains as much as possible and have a reason to get out in the mountains, get high in the mountains, and get to new places every day. And that's really what happened. It became even more than that. It became a opportunity to connect with lots of new people and make new friendships. But it really was amazing how many adventures I had last year chasing that million feet of vert that I never would have if I was focused on just getting faster or things like that.
Yeah. So I noticed you made a comment on a podcast that you decided to make that goal public, and you put that out.
Yeah.
What did that do to change your mindset when you said, okay, I'm telling people I'm getting 1 million feet of vert?
Yeah, it definitely held me more accountable. There were definitely days where I finished my run and then it was like, I should probably get another 1,000 feet of vert here at the end. I've already got 6,000, got to make it to 7,000. It definitely pushed me that extra step, and it helped so much to have so many people supporting me along the way.
Yeah. Was there any time where you thought, I might not make this?
I would definitely say the first maybe 3 or 4 months of the year. Yeah, I just was pretty overwhelming, being like, I'm not even 20% of the way done, and it feels like I've done so much already.
Yeah.
But by June, July, August, I really got into my groove, and that's when I started to feel like, oh, this is in the bag. This is not going to be that bad, and that's why I wanted to do something that would push me even farther this year.
That's so cool. I just think it's so impressive, and just the focus to accomplish that. I mean, you put a lot of hours out there.
Yeah.
What was, I mean, you're out there a lot. Are you a music guy? Are you just to your thoughts, or what do you typically do when you're on the trail?
Yeah, I've never listened to music while running. I've been running for 10 years and never tried it, but
so that's hours with your thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you're out there?
Honestly, I don't feel like it's a lot of like long, coherent thoughts. I feel like something I've realized is that my thoughts are like a constant river flowing. And they never really stop, and they're always just on to the next thing, like what's happening, or just imaginary scenarios, but I feel like when I go running, that all stops
Yeah.
and my brain just kind of quiets. And maybe it'll just do the same phrase over and over again for hours. It could
Okay.
be any random phrase, like the grass is green. Just, but it's very calming and peaceful. It takes you to another world for
That's so
sure.
cool. Um, so you've announced already your
Mhm.
goal for 2025.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, but tell everybody what's your goal for 2025?
So my main goal is to get the new record on Mount Temp, the
Okay.
local mountain here, which is 2 hours 16 minutes round trip. Last year I did it in 2:23, so I'm 7 minutes off.
So let me just put this into perspective for everybody. I've done Tim, and you're to the shed. Is that
Yeah.
okay? To the shed and
Parking lot
back
to
down.
the shack and back.
So I think the fastest I've done it is 4.5 hours, and
That's a
you
solid
are,
time.
and that's a solid time.
Uh-huh.
Like no one's gonna bat an eye at 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that in half the time.
Uh-huh.
Like that's so awesome. That's and what's your fastest time so far?
2:23.
2:23.
Yeah.
And then you have a second goal.
Yeah, so then my side goal, in order to motivate me to get the speed, because otherwise I'd probably do a lot of the same as what I've done in years past, just running the mountains and
Yeah.
see what happens. But this year I wanted to kind of take control of my fate more and do what I see elite trail runners doing around here, which is doing track work
Okay.
and getting fast. And so because I'm doing that, I'm like, I might as well try to run a fast marathon because I've always been curious. So my second goal is for my debut marathon to be a 2:35. That's the more research I'm doing on how fast you need to be to run a 2:35, it really keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
And it's
Have you done a marathon before?
never.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that you've done 100 miles,
Uh-huh.
a 50K,
Uh-huh.
and in fact, I was looking last night because I'm signed up. I'm on the wait list for the Bear 100. You're
Uh-huh.
on the wait list.
Yeah.
You're
I
like
don't think I'm getting
200s.
it. Unless the sponsorship takes me
I'm
in.
356. I'm no doubt. I don't think I'm getting in, but
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, I heard once, if you hang out with 5 drunks, you're going to be the 6th drunk.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the 5th guy hanging out with a bunch of runners, you're going to be that 6th runner. Connor Mance, Clayton Young run on this track that we're on
Yeah.
today.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, let's see if we can. Let's do a little workout and let's see if we can get there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Sounds
talk
good.
more, but we're gonna get working out. Okay, so I want to talk about, man, you're a beam of light. You
Aw.
would just attract goodness and people to you. And from my observation, I mean, part of that is you're the #1 cheerleader on the trail. Like you hype anybody who comes your way. I mean, do you work on that or does that just come natural?
I think that's definitely grown a lot because of who I've been around the last couple years. I definitely have always loved hyping people up, but specifically in the trail running community here, Craig Packer, he's just a legend. He started running at 51 and now he's 60. He broke the 3-hour marathon at 57.
Wow.
He ran his 3rd 100-miler last year, but he is just the happiest and most positive guy out there, no matter how hard it is or like what's happening. And I was with him from miles 75 to 100 at the Bear 100 a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And he, even at mile 95, when he was so out of it and tripping like crazy and in a lot of pain, he was still hyping up everybody that we'd pass. And he just kept on passing people. And they would look like a lot younger and in like better condition than him. They weren't limping as much, but
Yeah.
he just had that extra energy from like giving out all that positive energy to everyone else. And that's when I think I really made a conscious goal to be extra positive and always try to be hyping everyone up no matter how difficult it is for me.
I think that's so great. And I know it's not just trail running or the ultra community, but there seems to be a special camaraderie with people in this. The people who trail run. And so tell me more about what kind of motivated you to create the run club and what it takes to have those events.
Yeah, so when I first moved here to Provo, Utah, I remember seeing these beautiful mountains, and I was like, oh, I just want to go. I want to get out on hikes with people. And when I tried to like reach out to my friends and stuff, I realized very quickly that people weren't interested in going on hikes every day and going on long hikes to like no particular destination, just getting out in the mountains to be in the mountains. So I was pretty lonely my first year of being here and spending a lot of time in the mountains. I loved it, but I wanted to connect with people. So then when my Instagram started to grow, I'd already found the community of like Craig and Bill, and a lot of like the average ultra runner age is
Yeah.
is probably mid 40s. And
that's when we start getting crazy and making bad decisions.
yeah, and I love spending time with those guys, but I kind of felt like I owed it to myself when I moved here to build a community and an opportunity for younger kids to get up in the mountains. So that's the main reason why I started, because I knew that there were a lot of college age kids following me, and I kind of thought like, what would myself when I first moved here, like what would have helped him find this group and find a community sooner and easier. So
Yeah,
that was the main motivation.
that's so cool.
Hmm.
And it seems like you, I mean, there's not a demographic. I mean, I've seen on your Instagram, you've got kids like, or guys like Craig,
Yeah.
older, and then kids like Owen who are just young.
Yeah.
And these, so it's just like, it doesn't matter. But if
Uh-huh.
you just love this stuff, you're part of the crew.
Yeah. Anyone is welcome, no matter how fast or how slow. Like, it's cool when people show up who they've never even hiked it before, but they just were scrolling Instagram and saw one of my videos, and I'm like, I'll walk a mile with you at group run. And I know all the guys at the front, they've run 100-milers, they know the trails, they can do their thing, but it's really a place for just everyone to come together and like share the common love of being in nature.
Yeah. So is that something that you want to continue to grow, or?
Definitely. I just think it was so successful last summer. This winter I was expecting it to keep going, but I forget that we're kind of a bit more obsessed than the average person is. So.
Not everyone wants to go and climb up to Baldy and slide down on the snow.
Yeah. But last week was our best group this winter. We had 13 people out at the group run. So
Oh, that's awesome. And when are the group runs?
they're Wednesdays at 4:30.
Okay.
So that's also kind of tough. It's just with it getting dark so early, we're
Having to start earlier.
As soon as the sun starts setting later, we'll be moving it back to 5:20 again.
Okay. So I do want to talk about this comment that I've heard you say, that you did a race and you just didn't feel the enjoyment or the fulfillment of completing that race. That you find greater joy in this whole process.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I feel like this is just how I want to live my life, and it goes a lot farther than running. Is I don't really believe in any sort of end result in life. Like, I don't think that there will be a point in my life where I could be more satisfied or more happy than I am now.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a trap to live life with beliefs like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know it works for a lot of people, but for me, I want to like believe that every day can have this is satisfaction, fulfillment, and meaning. Like the same meaning I can find now, I can also find meaning 20 years from now in whatever I'm doing. And so with running, like every day, the process is where the meaning is, that I don't think it's ever going to be in completing some big goal or winning some race or completing a race, but that by creating goals, it helps create more meaning now.
Yeah. You know, and that's so interesting. I kind of get a sense that maybe that's where trail running and ultra marathons are going towards, that it's more of just like, hey, we don't need a sanctioned race.
Yeah.
Let's just get out there and let's go have a fun time.
Uh-huh.
I noticed, you know, you posted about going rim to rim to rim.
Yeah.
And it's experiences like that that are just so much more enjoyable than signing up for a 100-mile race,
Yeah.
killing yourself for a belt buckle or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but do you have other runs like rim to rim that you want to do?
100%. There's lots of adventures that I want to have, and I think that's the mindset for a lot of my training. Is I want to be ready and as fit as I can be and as experienced in the mountains, so that when an opportunity comes for the adventure of a lifetime, that I'm ready to go and I can just drop whatever, even if conditions aren't perfect, and go have those once in a lifetime moments.
Yeah.
When we were in Switzerland this last summer, we only had 4 days, but it was just the coolest feeling. Like, I felt like my body was a machine. I was ready to go. I'd been training hard all year, and I didn't really know what the trails were going to be like when we got there.
Yeah.
Or conditions or how technical it was going to be, but I knew that I'd been training pretty solidly. So in the 4 days that we had, I did a 26-mile run with 10,000 feet of vert, a 29-mile run with 9,000 feet of vert, and then another 9-mile run. And like, those were adventures of a lifetime, every one.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't been staying on top of things and getting the cold winter training in Utah and doing everything, then I probably wouldn't have been able to, like, physically able to just go out and have those adventures. So even just things like that make it all worth it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so great. And so we were talking about the camaraderie and the support, but I want to talk about your number one support, which is your wife.
Yeah.
She does a lot for you.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so my wife is for sure my biggest supporter, and that wasn't how it always was. It was definitely hard for her to, like, accept that this is what I'm trying to do and trying to, like, become successful on social. I'm trying to start a business, taking companies on experiences, and it's unstable and unsteady and unsure.
Sure.
And that's definitely hard for any partner. But this last year, she really was just like, I'm gonna trust what you're doing and trust the process, and that just means the world to me. And I feel very lucky, because I know a lot of people would just not be willing to take that risk on their partner, because
Right.
that's scary.
I have to say, one of my favorite posts that you've had recently was when she did the Trails with Zach impersonation. I mean, it was spot on.
Yeah, it was.
And so funny. Do you plan to have her involved in more of the posts going forward?
Yeah, for sure.
Coming up, we're about to start the sprint portion of this workout. And honestly, I've got a lot of work to do.
He's gonna kill me. As you take this, you know, as you continue this journey, and it is a journey and it's a grind that you're on. I mean, running 1,000,000 feet of vert, that takes a grind.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do on a regular basis, either to get your mind ready or your body ready for that type of grind?
I mean, it's really different. Last year, for the 1,000,000 feet of vert, that was what was natural. That was what was easy to me. So 99% of the time, I didn't have to do anything at all to, like, get myself motivated or disciplined. That's just what I wanted to be doing. So that was easy. But now this year, I mean, in a large sense, it wasn't easy, but on the day-to-day, it was pretty easy. This year, something like coming out and doing a 400 meters track workout that I really do not want to be doing. It's taking a different type of mindset, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think I'm gonna have to utilize working out with partners and stuff like that more this year, because Otherwise, the work probably won't get done.
Yeah.
But also switching into a different headspace this year. That's what's been helping me. Like when I failed my workout last week, one of my friends was like, "Come on, man, like you're better than that." And so kind of trying to, like this morning, I was trying to tap into that. Like when it gets hard today, this morning, I'm wanting to quit, I'm gonna think about what my friend was saying, that like I have more in me than just to quit in the middle when it gets hard.
Well, and it's putting ourselves in that uncomfortable zone
Yeah.
that makes progress. And if we don't do it, we're gonna stay.
Yeah.
And I was debating so much yesterday when we were talking about where we were going to meet, texting back and forth, because I have come to know you as the guy up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to go, I want to meet on the track. And I'm like, well, there goes my story out the window.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to meet on a track to talk with Trails with Zach. What's the deal? But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, like, this is the perfect juxtaposition of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you have a goal, and that goal is going to require a different set of skills than what you've been developing over the last year.
Yeah.
And so you got to put in the work, and that means doing boring runs around the track. Because I know you and I can tell that we're the same, that we don't like running in circles on a track. It is not our cup of tea, but we'll do it because that's what's going to make us better.
Yeah, and I think about the feelings that I had last year, where running fast on Mount Timpanogos felt very special to me, and it didn't feel like a race. It felt like I was like performing my own piece of art in the mountains by pushing myself to the limits on this trail that I know very well, and it's just different to me. And so when I think about these workouts, trying to get faster, I think about like how much more special that's going to be if I have really pushed myself to the limits in training and made myself do things that I didn't want to do.
Yeah. We're going to give people a taste. There it is, Timp right there.
Oh yeah.
The butte. This is a butte, Clark. Love that thing.
I do like that that symbolism. That's what training down here, watching it, getting ready.
So I haven't done a sprint workout on the track in years. It has been treadmills. And so this is going to be a fun experience.
Yeah. Before last week, it had been like 6 years since I'd had a real track workout. It's crazy how you get slower when you don't practice.
It's true.
I'm like, my high school self would think I'm so dumb just for how much slower I am now.
Yeah. "23 years old."
Yeah.
From Arizona. And school brought you to Utah?
Yeah.
To study? Is that?
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Study psych.
Okay.
But the reason why I was most excited was to come to BYU for the mountains.
Yeah. I mean, what part of Arizona?
Mesa.
Okay, so kind of a flat area.
Yeah. So that's why it was like so intriguing. Do a couple like 50-meter sprints, just like 3 of them.
I'm just gonna follow your lead, man.
That's probably the biggest thing I was kind of screwing myself over on last year, was not doing any sprints.
Yeah.
Do you follow David Roche at all?
Yeah, it sounds really familiar.
He's hoping to win Western States 100 this year. Last year he set the Leadville 100 new record.
Yeah.
But he's like a 37-year-old coach. He's never really raced his debut 100 was last year at Leadville.
Oh, okay, yes,
Uh-huh.
and he crushed it.
He crushed it, yeah, and got
Yes.
the new record.
Yes.
And I would say a lot of like what I'm trying to do now is just like more inspired because of him.
Yeah. In what
'Cause-
way?
Just because he says that he says that speed is extremely important in ultras.
Man, you had me nervous. I thought you were like getting in the blocks. I was like, oh shoot. Oh shoot, this is real.
We're trying to go 5:24 mile pace.
Okay.
I guess we don't jog into the line. Ready.
You just finished 20 400-meter sprints.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Feeling really good. I've been having a lot of doubts and just feeling like my legs can't run fast, and just averaged 76 seconds for 20 reps on the 400s, and I'm just feeling super stoked, just really blessed and grateful.
We just finished a workout with Trails with Zach, and man, that was awesome. That was grueling. And so I wanted to, this morning I was cooking up a little bit, and I know that you like cheese quesadillas.
Oh.
So I cooked up some cheese quesadillas that we could share. So
Nice, dude. Recovery.
you are the champion of getting people together, and so I got us
Dang,
some
man.
nice cheese. Oh, it's still a little
Those
melted.
with the raw tortilla.
Oh yeah.
That looks
So let's.
good.
Oh. Toast to that.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Trails with Zach. Let's do it, man.
Good stuff.